What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to the Liverpool-Manchester United post-match analysis and reaction video. And what a disappointing performance and result by Liverpool. I felt that Liverpool should have beaten Manchester United. This is the worst Man United side of the past 30 years and they were celebrating getting a draw after being outplayed for like 75-80 minutes. Man United had 30% possession, they had like no ambition. They played like a side fighting relegation and yet they are happy with the point. Yet Roy Keane is calling Virgil van Dijk arrogant. After Virgil van Dijk's interview, I think he was spot on that Liverpool were actually surprised that Man United were just defending with their lives, playing the low block, and it almost worked for them because after Liverpool changed their formation to 4-4-2 after Szoboszlai went off, who had a very disappointing performance. This is probably Szoboszlai's worst game in a Liverpool shirt and he had a lot of good games, so he's allowed to have an off game. But half of the Liverpool team, I think, didn't perform to the best of their abilities, and yet Liverpool had 34 shots, which is like the 4th or 5th most shots in a Premier League game from a team who hasn't scored a goal in that game, and that is remarkable. For Liverpool to have 34 shots against Man United is pretty much unheard of. But the problem is a lot of our shots came from bad positions, from long range, or when there were multiple defenders in front of the player who had a shot, and Liverpool didn't have enough cutting edge and enough creativity, mainly because Alexis McAllister is out injured. He is probably our most creative player, and also Szoboszlai had an off day. He had a game where he's just off form, and Endo I thought did really well. Trent Alexander-Arnold had a really good performance. His shot almost went in. Onana was absolutely rooted to the spot, but also Gakpo should have scored. Darwin Núñez should have scored. Gakpo had pretty much a free header in the box from like 5-6 yards out and it doesn't even hit the target. Darwin Núñez had a few really good chances, and the problem with Darwin Núñez is he has no goals in 10 games, which is now a real worry. So I think maybe Gakpo should start against West Ham and see how he does. But the problem also is that in these kind of scrappy games where Liverpool are not at their best, Diogo Jota is the perfect player to play because he even scores sometimes half chances. But the problem is Diogo Jota is out injured, Luis Diaz is also out of form, Darwin Núñez is out of form, and to have two of your front three out of form is really concerning for Liverpool, because finally the bad performances, or the, should I say, not bad but average performances by Liverpool have finally caught up with them. But we shouldn't debate whether this means anything really drastic for Liverpool, because it doesn't. You can allow a draw after winning all of your games in all competition at Anfield against still most successful league side in English football, Manchester United. They are still a huge team, they are still a huge brand, a huge club. So you are allowed to have a draw at home against a huge club because we still have the title race in our hands. Even though as disappointed as I am with this game, I'm still very optimistic with the season. Liverpool are still figuring it out as the season progresses. We have a brand new midfield. Jurgen Klopp is making maybe one too many tactical changes. We play multiple different formations during every game. We play multiple different tactical setups during every game, and that's really hard for the players to grasp and to have a really fluid performance every week. And Liverpool have grinded out so many wins this season. It was sooner or later happening that Liverpool didn't win one of their home games. To come against a really weak, really pathetic Man United side is really disappointing. I'm absolutely gutted. But, there were a lot of even better Liverpool teams than this current Liverpool team who couldn't beat Man United at Anfield. There were a lot of 0-0 draws at Anfield against Man United since Jurgen Klopp took over. This is like the 3rd or maybe even the 4th 0-0 draw against Man United at home, because sometimes they just come to Anfield, park the bus, play in a low block, and it almost worked for Man United, because when Liverpool switched to a 4-4-2 formation where Joe Gomez came on for Szoboszlai and Trent switched to midfield, and Gakpo came on as well. It was, a 4-4-2, and they became more open. We didn't track the runners of Man United, and they actually got some really good chances in the second half. Rasmus Højlund had probably the best chance of Man United, which Alisson made a really good save. My problem is we didn't put enough pressure on Onana. He's a dodgy keeper. He's very low on confidence, and we took shots which were pretty comfortable for him. We didn't really test him enough. And also, we didn't play with a high intensity, high tempo. Maybe Liverpool players are a little bit tired, lethargic. You also have to remember, Liverpool have a lot of injuries. I thought at the back we were, again, rock solid. Tsimikas, Van Dijk, and especially Konate. I think Konate was our best defender. Had really good games. And Alisson also had a really good game, as usual. But the midfield, Endo is still finding his feet, but this was Endo's 9th game in the last 13 for Liverpool. Is it 9 starts in the last 13? So Endo is finding his feet, getting better and better. I think this was one of the better performances of Endo, maybe one of the best performances for Liverpool so far in his career. But Gravenberch, he pulled up with an injury. He wasn't as good as he can be, and Szoboszlai was really disappointing. He went off, and I checked his passing stats. He had only 76% pass accuracy. He gave the ball away so many times, which is very uncharacteristic, because usually Szoboszlai, his passing is always spot on, always immaculate. So maybe he just needs a little bit of rest, playing a lot of football in the absence of Bajcetic, Thiago, and also McAllister recently is missing. I think Harvey Elliott definitely deserves a start against West Ham United, and I still hope that Liverpool rotate the team against West Ham, because we need fresh legs and fresh ideas and a fresh approach. And also the Arsenal game at Anfield next weekend is absolutely monumental. It's absolutely huge. If we play like this against Arsenal, it will be almost impossible to beat them. Liverpool need to up their performance, but I'm still trusting Jurgen Klopp to figure it out, to get the right tactical setup. Also, we need Thiago back, because Thiago can add so much intelligence, so much creativity into our midfield. And also maybe Curtis Jones deserves a start against West Ham United, but definitely Harvey Elliott maybe should have come on much earlier, and Darwin Núñez's form is a concern, but he still got quite a few good chances today, but sometimes he wasn't just confident enough to hit the ball early when the defenders weren't set in their ways, and also there was an instance where he could have passed to Luis Diaz. There were 3 Man United defenders on him, nobody was marking Diaz. In the end, the ball ended up falling to Diaz, who smashes it into Onana, but then Darwin Núñez doesn't go for the loose ball because he thinks there will be a penalty. I'm not sure why. And also there was a huge penalty shout for Liverpool when the ball bounced up from the ground onto Luke Shaw's hand. It actually hit Luke Shaw's hand twice, and yet the referee didn't give it. And I think if the referee gives it on the pitch, then VAR doesn't overrule it. It's kind of those kind of 50-50 decisions where the referee doesn't give it, VAR doesn't deem that a clear and obvious error, because Luke Shaw's hand wasn't out like this, but still it was out like this. Some referees give that, some don't. It would have been kind of a little bit harsh, yes, but it was still a handball, and who knows where the ball would have bounced if it doesn't hit Luke Shaw's hand. So I would have given it, but I can understand why VAR maybe didn't overrule it, because they didn't deem it a clear and obvious error. The handball rule is so overcomplicated and so not clear for the supporters to understand. I don't even know anymore if it was a refereeing mistake or not to give it. And also this statistic makes Onana look incredible, but he was not incredible. Liverpool just had a lot of bad shots taken, and Onana made 8 saves. So Liverpool, from 34 attempts, we had 26 shots which didn't hit the target, which must be a new record for Liverpool. 26 shots, either off target or blocked. That's a lot of shots which didn't work on Onana. And also he made 8 saves, which is the most by a Man United goalkeeper without conceding a goal since 2019, where David De Gea saved 11 shots against Tottenham. So I think Liverpool need to buck up their ideas. We need to get back Alexis McAllister fit as soon as possible. We need to get Thiago back. Maybe if Gravenberch is injured, start Curtis Jones or Harvey Elliott next to Endo and Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai also needs a rest in my opinion, so hopefully he gets a rest against West Ham, maybe comes on in the second half. And I feel Darwin Núñez would be better off if he comes on as a substitute off the bench and runs against tired players. Darwin Núñez also is a brilliant counter-attacking striker, but against a very low block, very deep defending Manchester United team, Darwin Núñez is not the most effective because he's not the most creative. He doesn't have like the best football intelligence. He's a pacey striker who can do really well when Liverpool counter-attack or when Liverpool attack against not like 10 defenders, which Man United had at some points. Literally 10 defenders plus Onana. That's how Man United played for like 75% of the game. And Darwin Núñez struggles against those kind of sides. So that's why I say when the game opens up in the second half and Darwin Núñez comes on, maybe that's where he can be most effective. If we had Jota fit, he would start for me up front alongside Salah and Luis Diaz, but we don't, so maybe start Cody Gakpo. But Gakpo has his own problems where he's not really like in form goal scoring wise. He had a free header, as I said, and if he heads it down into the bottom corner, I think it's a goal. He tries to score it into the top corner and it's way over the bar. So Liverpool really need to do better in my opinion in terms of finishing. We still played a pretty good game. It wasn't a great game. We created a lot of chances. We did the bare minimum of, you know, having a lot of possession against the low block and creating chances, but we failed to score because we didn't have the cutting edge, we didn't have the creativity, and also we didn't play with a high enough tempo. For the unlucky thing for Liverpool in terms of the title race is Liverpool are in a rebuild phase. We are rebuilding the team. We have a brand new midfield. So of course these kind of performances are kind of expected while Liverpool still try to figure it out. The problem is this is where Man City have an off season. This is where Liverpool could really go for the title, and I think we are going for the title. We are trying our hardest, but of course Liverpool won't have a very fluid, very settled team when you change the whole midfield. So Liverpool need to just find a way to get wins. We need to find a way to play better. We need to find a way to create more chances, to score more of our chances. But that comes with a lot of work on the training ground. And Liverpool can take a lot out of this game that we need to watch it back and we need to see where we could have been. Maybe instead of shooting from distance, make another pass. There were so many moments where we shot from distance instead of passing it. Also, why didn't we take on more players? Why didn't Luis Diaz or Mo Salah take on their defender and go past him? Also, we need to create overloads on the wing. When you are playing against a low block, you need to have 3 players against 2 defenders. When the fullback and the midfielder is defending on the wing for the opposition, you need to have an overload. So if there are 2 players defending Luis Diaz, you need to put Tsimikas there. We need to put Gravenberch there. Also on the other side, when Salah is running against the left back, Luke Shaw, you need to put Szoboszlai next to Salah. You need to put maybe another player. But I know it's difficult. It's very hard. Man United are still a decent side defensively. Last season they pretty much got Champions League football and finished top 4 because of their defense. So they still know how to defend. But my problem is Man United didn't have to do anything really special defensively to take Liverpool out of the game in terms of restrict us to long shots and not really clear cut chances. Liverpool needed to do more. As I said, we need to play with a higher tempo. We need to create overloads. We need to take on players more often. hopefully Jurgen Klopp will figure it out and the analysis team will figure it out. But you don't get a lot of time on the training ground in these moments, and that's a problem in December. You have games every 3 days, so you can't really do a lot of work on the training ground. You just need to recover to the next game and go again. Hopefully Liverpool will start kicking into gear, and I think seeing Thiago even just in the stadium excites me, because he's, I think, our best passer of a midfielder, and he could unlock a low block defense with his passes. Hopefully Liverpool can find some form again, because right now we don't look like a team destined to win the title, but it's still in our hands. And if Liverpool click into gear, if Liverpool improve their performances, we can still win the title. That's my ultimate verdict for this game. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. See you later, guys. Goodbye.